These four unlikely heroes are about to become the world's greatest rock band ever. Either that or they're going to help us get to Stone Tower. You need to step on these 3 switches in the proper order. Okay, so those 4 heroes are not going to help us out. Really, it's just going to be 3 heroes, because Deku Shrub Link is decidedly the worst rock star ever. Alright, so do the switch on the right first, then the switch on the left, and then the switch in the middle to make your way to Stone Tower. YouTube says that I can make extra long videos now, which is very nice, but I still think I'm going to fast forward through this part because it's kind of boring. Really, not much happens besides Link standing on switches and playing the Elegy of Emptiness, and that's really not my cup of tea. Actually, come to think of it, I don't really like to drink tea, so I guess a cup of tea is not my cup of tea either. In any case, we have finished playing the required songs on the required switches in the required order, so I can jump across the platforms to reach Stone Tower. Stone Tower is a very well-designed dungeon. You have to go through Stone Tower twice, once this way, normal side up, and then a second time when it's completely upside down. So yes, this dungeon is designed to be played through upside down. That seems really difficult. I can't believe they managed to program this correctly. However, it's sort of a problem. You'll see later on in this video, there are some rooms where you don't really do much of anything besides prepare for when the dungeon is upside down. I'll show what this is like later on in this video. Right now, I hit the switch with the bow and arrow to get myself the treasure chest so I could get a stray fairy. And you might have noticed that I am wearing the stone mask. Get used to that, folks. I'm going to wear it an awful lot in this dungeon, because when you wear the stone mask, the enemies won't chase after Link. And I'm going through the left exit rather than the right exit, because the right exit is blocked. You can either blow up the wall with Mr. Bomb Chew, or you can use the blast mask, or an actual bomb. And in this area, we have a bunch of switches. So I'm going to make one go down with the box. I'm going to make another one go down by playing the Elegy of Emptiness. And you know, Link is wearing the stone mask, so let's see if the creepy version of Link will also be wearing the mask. Alright, it's creepy, but it's not wearing the mask. Interesting. Okay, I need to hold this switch down, so I'm going to do it as Zora Link. Yes, these are the kind of switches where you have to stay on top of the switches in order to get through the door. I'll show you this in just a moment or so. For now, we get to hear the Elegy of Emptiness for what feels like the 20th time. See this door? The door is shut, and the door does not go up until all 4 switches are pressed. So where is switch number 4? Switch number 4, the big one, has to be stood upon by Goron Link. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, Deku Link is a total wimp, and he can't step on switches. I don't know why, but that's why you need to have a box on one of the switches instead of Deku Link. Deku Link can't stand on switches! Kind of useless there, Deku Link. And here we are in the 3rd room of the dungeon. I must say, the dungeon has been pretty straightforward so far. Go to room 1, then room 2, then room number 3. And it's really dark, so I'm going to skip ahead to the next day, because that will actually make it so I can see what's going on. Ah, there we go, that's better. And you can kind of see that we have a broken floor here, so you can destroy it with a bomb, or you can try to destroy the enemy with a bomb to create a hole in the floor to reach this room. where we have a sunblock that you can destroy with some light. Very good, very good. And I believe we also have a thing that we can hookshot to. Yeah, we have a hookshot target somewhere near the light. So it's right over... okay, I didn't see it. It's okay, don't see it either. Maybe I'm too close. Oh wait, is that it? It's over to the left! Sorry about that. And here we have a treasure chest containing Stray Fairy number 2. The other thing to do in this room is to destroy those statues as Goron Link. You probably remember these Armos statues from the Dodongo dungeon in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. They also appeared in the Spirit Temple, where you could destroy them with the Megaton Hammer. Anyway, you can hit them with the Goron Punch in order to make them start blinking, which means they're going to explode. Destroy all 4 of the statues in this room in order to get a small key. Alright, so that's the small key and the Stray Fairy. And that's all you can do in this room with the lava pit for a floor. Now just go upstairs and do something else. Hold on a second, guys. Don't believe the person who's doing the commentary. He's a total liar. Turns out he completely forgot about the 3rd treasure chest in this room, which is right over here, behind the sunblock that you destroyed. It contains the dungeon map. So yes, I had to go back and replay the entire dungeon to get the dungeon map. My mistake. Make sure not to forget the dungeon map when you go through this room. And that is all you can do in this room. Time to go back upstairs. You know, I didn't have to fall into this room. I could have just taken these stairs right here. It probably would have been a lot safer, but who cares? I have the small key, so now I can go through the door to room number 4. And we have a sunblock. And it appears we have a lot of water, and we have an Igor creature right over there. We'll be fighting him later on, but for now he's just standing around looking bored, waiting for me to start swimming. And here's an enemy here. I always like to be captured by this enemy, so I can be thrown up here and get myself a small key. Actually, you kind of have to be thrown up there by the Dexy hand, because you can't progress without the small key, so make sure to do it. And we have a switch here, which you can set off with the blast mask, or a bomb, to create a treasure chest containing Small Fairy number 5, or 4, or 6 or 7. It depends on the order you get the Stray Fairies in, obviously. And now I'm just going to swim through this passageway underneath the Dexy hand. So this is sort of the part of the dungeon that I was referring to earlier when I said not much happens. All you're doing is setting stuff up for what happens later on in the dungeon. I mean, right there, I set up the treasure chest so I could get it later on. And here, I have another treasure chest that I'm setting up so I can get it later on. It's good to do stuff which is going to become important later on in the dungeon, but it's kind of boring too, you know? No, give me a challenge. There's really nothing to this room besides swimming. So yeah, just swim up and you'll reach the top of the room. Excellent. Way to go, Deku Link. Wait, this isn't Deku Link. No, this is somebody who's actually useful. It's Zora Link! And check out this mirror. You can shine light onto the mirror to make light reflect, and you can use the light to make this sunblock disappear. I really like the idea of the reflecting light challenge. It makes the mirror shield even more useful, and this gives us access to the treasure chest with the compass. And I like how the bomb too is just sort of frozen in midair as Link opens the treasure chest. It was standing on the treasure chest, then Link opens it, and it's still hanging in midair as if the treasure chest lid is there, which it's not. And here I'm back in the main room, just here to show you that I created a shortcut. Now we can go through the right-hand door of the main room. Awesome. And over here we have a locked door, so obviously I'm going to use my key to open the door and do another reflecting light challenge. Now remember these things? You destroyed quite a few of them in the Snowhead Temple. Okay, you only destroyed 4 of them. Whatever. Maybe 5, whatever. Those are the ring things that you punch as Goron Link. And this creates some sunlight. Using the power of sunlight, you can shine light upon the Raisin Bran suns in order to get absolutely nothing. Well, one of the suns actually gets you something, and that sun gives you a treasure chest. And here we have more mirrors. So shine light on the mirror on the right. Yes, store up a good amount of light, and then use the light to destroy the sunblock. And you might have noticed there are an awful lot of enemies in this room, which is why I'm wearing the stone mask. They will be attacking you the whole time if you don't wear the stone mask, which makes this really, really difficult. And we just received 2 more stray fairies. Awesome! So I'm pretty sure you can figure out what to do from here. You want to shine light on the one on the left to store up an awful lot of light. This is probably going to take you more than 1 try. Then shine that light into mirror number 2. And as you can see, this is right where the enemies are. So if I wasn't wearing the stone mask, the enemy would have hit me and thrown me off and totally ruined my chance at destroying the sunblock. And you can get some money by rolling into these crates. Very, very useful. And now, on to the next room. This room is kind of difficult. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with this dungeon. I mean, I was just complaining we have 2 rooms of pretty much nothing. All you do is swim through them. And these are immediately followed up by 2 rooms of difficult challenges. The room of shining the mirrors from mirror to mirror, and this room where you have a flying challenge and a timed rolling challenge. You need to step on the switch using a Goron ground pound as Goron Link, and then you need to go very quickly to the other side of the room to the switch which is covered by fire. Again, like the mirror challenge, this is probably going to take you many, many tries. I don't want this video to be too long, after all it's long enough, so I cut out all of my failed attempts to reach the switch, which gets you a treasure chest containing a stray fairy. Now on for the second challenge of the room, which is flying around as Deku Link. Yes, Deku Link does get his moment to shine in this temple. And that's basically his only moment to shine in this temple. I don't recall using him anywhere else. No, wait, we use him again. Okay. Deku Shrub Link gets a couple of turns in this temple, but it's all the same exact challenge, which is flying around as Deku Shrub Link. And I think I've spent enough time talking about Deku Shrub Link flying that we actually get to see him fly right now. Flying, flying, flying. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Don't forget to go over here to get yourself a very easy treasure chest containing a stray fairy. And lots of money. Money is also good. And here we have more flying, which is rather difficult because the controls are strange. Deku Shrub Link is flying backwards. I don't know, I always found the controls for flying as Deku Shrub Link to be very weird. It's sort of like Wii Sports. I can't get the controls for that game to work. The boxing controls never work. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. Boxing controls for Wii Sports don't work. It's not a great game. Sorry. Man, now I'm gonna get a bunch of hateful messages from fans of Wii Sports. How could you not like Wii Sports, dude? Wii Sports is the best-selling game on the Wii. Yeah, that's because it comes free with the system. Doesn't count. Come on now. Now I'm fighting the Garro Master. The Garro Master is basically one of those Garro creatures that we've been fighting all throughout the game. Or not all throughout the game, all throughout Ikana Canyon. And they basically decided to turn this enemy into a boss, which is a pretty good idea. It's a little bit different than the Garros because his swords are on fire, so it's harder to dodge. You can't just use your shield to block his attacks, you're going to have to try to dodge. Notice that I'm not really trying to dodge, but you probably should. And there we go, the Garro Master is defeated. He says the same thing as every Garro, except for this part, when he gives you the hint that you can use the light arrows to make the temple turn upside down. But Link doesn't have the light arrows yet, so make sure to open the treasure chest to get yourself some of those light arrows. You just got the light arrow. Not as heavy as the other arrows are. Thank you, Princess Zelda. Oh wait, no, Princess Zelda didn't give us the light arrows. That was the last game. Why did Link throw away the light arrows? They were so useful. Just think, he could have saved us a lot of hassle by keeping all of his items from the first game. And here we have this room, which is kind of strange. And we have an enemy called the Hip Loop. You need to attack it with the hook shot. Whoa! Okay, that wasn't a good idea. It's supposed to look more like this. The hook shot gets rid of the mask, then you attack the hip loop, whatever you call it, and before you leave the room, I recommend getting the Stray Fairy. Otherwise, you're going to have to do what I did here, which is backtrack, and it's a major hassle. As you can see, we have a crystal switch in this room. You need to drop a bomb to set off the crystal switch, which sets off the treasure chest containing the Stray Fairy. Just save yourself a lot of backtracking and do it now, rather than doing it later. And that's fairy number 15. And you know, I have been doing things out of order, so I might as well show you what happens when you take all of the fairies to the fairy fountain. Ooh, and I didn't mention this earlier. It's actually rather useful. You can play the Song of Soaring whenever you're in a dungeon to warp to the dungeon entrance. It's very useful in case you're stuck and you don't know where to go. And here we are at the fairy fountain. Great fairy of kindness, I have come to bring you back to life. Alright, so this looks like it's going to be the yellow fairy. Alright, and we just got the Fairy Sword, which is an awesome weapon. We can use it to defeat all sorts of evil enemies, and I promise you, I am going to use this in the boss battle. It should make the boss battle go a lot more quickly. And for now, I'm just going to leave the Great Fairy and get back to the room that I was in. The strange room with the Hiplop creature. Yeah, this room right here. And when you go through the door, we get to fight this monster. Remember the Igor? The one who was sitting around bored waiting for something to do? It's got something to do now, which is fight Link. Okay, so you need to attack its eye with a light arrow when its eye is yellow. So get close to it so it slams the ground, and then back away quickly. You got that? Get close so it slams the ground and then back away quickly, and hit it with a light arrow. 2 hits destroys this fearsome foe. And we get a treasure chest, thus getting us Stray Fairy number 94. Our number 7. My mistake! I always get those 2 numbers confused. And here we are back in the main room of the dungeon. Awesome! So let's see, we do have this sun thingy right over here. So hit it with a light arrow to create a treasure chest which appears when the dungeon is upside down. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that's everything. I mean, we've gone through the entire dungeon right side up. I think it's about time we go through this dungeon upside down. Or wait a second, I think I do have some more backtracking to do. Go back to this room here with the water. Zora Link can't reach the shore, and neither can normal Link, but check out this. Huh? Somehow Zora Link is able to reach the shore when he turns into Zora Link after being Human Link. I don't get it either. But we have light arrows, which means we can destroy this sunblock and get the treasure chest that we made earlier. So this is good, this is good. It's a little bit of backtracking to be sure, but it's easy to do it now, rather than going all the way through the dungeon and defeating the boss and then doing it after the dungeon is already over. Most people recommend doing it after the dungeon's over, and I say, boring! Alright, so here I am outside Stone Tower Temple. I have done absolutely everything that you can do when the temple is right side up. So now I'm going to make the temple go upside down by playing the Elegy of Emptiness on this switch, and then hitting the emblem. That is that red emblem that the Garro Master told us about, the one which is right in front of the temple. And Link says, "Let there be light!" And there was light. And it was good, and so everything turned upside down. Yeah. This is kind of strange. Everything's upside down now. I wonder if this applies to the whole world or just Stone Tower. I think it might just be Stone Tower. It would be really weird if this applied to the entire world. Don't you agree? Although that would totally solve the problem about the moon crashing into the Earth. The moon can't crash into the Earth if the moon is upside down, right? I guess it could crash into the Earth, but, you know, it would be falling down rather than falling up, right? Kind of? You know, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We have to tell the president. Only there's no president in Zelda, so I guess Link is going to have to stop the moon from falling. But of course, what he's going to do now is get a very easy stray fairy. The one you get by hitting this sun thingy right over here with a light arrow. And now I'm going up to the right. To the right, to the right, to the right, right. Because as you can see, if you go to the left, it doesn't lead anywhere. There are things in the left, but we can't reach them quite yet, so Link is going to the right. Oh, and here we have a sunblock. So destroy the sunblock with extra powerful UV rays. Yeah, that sunblock is not SPF 40, it's more like SPF 2. And here we have heating vents! Whee! Falling, 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 whee! Oh, and he stopped falling. Yeah, that looks like awful fun, playing with the heating vents. And we have a switch which is covered in ice. So hit it with a fire arrow to get yourself a treasure chest containing a stray fairy. You need to reach the stray fairy by using the heating vents as Deku Shrub Link. It looks just like this. You jump forward, he uses the heat to power his rose petals or whatever, and flies over to the treasure chest. Yes, Deku Shrub Link is light enough that he can fly using flowers. That's why he's not heavy enough to push down switches. Including this switch right over here, which is in the corner. Kind of. It's on the other side of the room, and I am very slowly making my way to the switch. Come on, Link, get to the switch. This switch, when you step on it, it frees this treasure chest right over here. The treasure chest that we made as Zora Link earlier on in this video. Yeah, we stepped on a switch. This used to be the room that was full of water, so we stepped on a switch as Zora Link, thus making that treasure chest appear. So now I'm getting rid of the spiky balls of doom to give myself free passageway to reach that treasure chest. Oh, and don't forget to play the Elegy of Emptiness. You need to play the Elegy of Emptiness on the Switch to have the Switch pressed down. As soon as you step off of the Switch, the treasure chest will be contained by fire again. This makes the second treasure chest in this dungeon we've seen that is covered by fire, yet somehow it's not burned. No, wait. We only saw one treasure chest covered by fire. The other thing we saw covered by fire was a switch. But still, my question remains, how on earth does the treasure chest not get burned up by the fire? It doesn't make sense to me. And now I'm dropping down. Over here we have a switch that you can hit with a light arrow. Well, not a switch really, it's a sun. You need to hit Mr. Sun with the light arrow in order to create a treasure chest that you can get as Zora Link when the temple is right side up. Now I'm walking over here to another switch, which creates a treasure chest. Boy, we sure do have a lot of treasure in this place, don't we? And here I like to fall off and get caught by the Dexy hand so I can get the money. It's very polite of the Dexy hand to be there and make sure that Link will not fall off into the ceiling or the floor. I'm still not quite sure what I should call it. And here we go. Here's our small key, which will definitely be useful in escaping this room. You might have noticed that the exit to this room, ouch, Deku Shrub Link, ouch, is blocked by a locked door. So you're going to have to use the small key on the door to get to the next room. And in this room we have lava falling from the ceiling. We also have one of those emblems. And you might have noticed that this room is upside down. So once again we're going to have to use our power of making rooms turn upside down by hitting this weird switch thingy. Oh, poor Link. I think it's kind of unfair that he gets hurt from falling because he kind of has to fall to get through this room. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And here we have another room with the same challenge. You can turn this room upside down as many times as you want, and you want to do this over and over and over again. Your goal is to move this block into a specific area. So move the block forward, then turn the room upside down by hitting the switch. If you're ever low on arrows, refill by destroying that yellow thingy. And obviously you just saw that little area that I was in. That's the area that you want to get the block in. And I'm running this at double speed just because it's kind of a slow challenge. It's still going to take me a minute, even on double speed. I don't think it's that bad of a challenge. I think it's a very good challenge. Very creative, but still kind of slow once you figure out what to do. You have to move the block forward, then turn the room upside down, then move it to the left, then turn the room upside down, then move it forward, upside down, forward, upside down, forward, upside down. Just keep turning the room upside down and pushing the block, and eventually the block is going to reach its destination, which is that hole in the ground. Again, if you ever run out of magic or arrows, you can destroy those two enemies using your sword. The enemies are there to make sure you never run out of magic or arrows, and they're also there to prepare you for what's coming up next. A boss battle against the evil Wizrobe, aka the boss we've seen 4 times already. You'd think they would come up with a new boss battle once in a while, jeez. Anyway, just like all the other boss battles, except this time, the ceiling is raining lava. And so Link is going to be attacked randomly by the ceiling. This seems very unfair, but hey, that's the way the game goes. And now that you have light arrows, you can hit Wizrobe with light arrows to do him extra damage. Whoa! Is it just me, or was Link on fire during that whole cutscene? He was on fire the whole time, but didn't get hurt. That's amazing! Alright, Wizrobe, where are you? He must be up here. No, he's over there. It's kind of difficult because you can't really see because you have fire from the ceiling, but still, it's the exact same fight as you've seen before. Alright, where is he now? Also, the ground is shaking because I'm on the final day of the game. If you did this on day 1 or 2, the ground wouldn't be shaking like it's an earthquake. Although technically this place is upside down, so it's not the ground that's shaking, it's the sky that's shaking? Oh wow. You know, I can't get over these implications of the fact that the ground is now the sky and the sky is the ground. It's completely confusing. And this is very well designed. You can hookshot to the treasure chest right up over here to reach this area, just in case you wanted to hit the Wizrobe who is over here. And from this area, you have enough height to reach this treasure chest, which contains a stray fairy. This is the room we found the dungeon map in, the one that you had to go through as Goron Link and destroy those Armos statues. And now I'm going up the stairs, or is it down the stairs? I'm not sure. To reach this area, I really don't recognize this room, but that's a fancy looking dungeon map. And it looks like we're very close to getting all of the stray fairies. Yes, I would say we're about 2/3 of the way through this dungeon. And let's see, you can see this room right here in the corner, right? You have to go through over here in order to get yourself a small key, so make sure to do it. And here we have some brand new enemies. Very interesting enemies. You need to hit them with light arrows. And once you hit one with a light arrow and it smashes to the ground, it explodes and dies. If you hit it with a light arrow and it doesn't smash to the ground, it doesn't explode and die. That's how you defeat these enemies. And they're really kind of a hassle, so I'm just going to use the stone mask to get through this area. That way the enemies won't bother me as I safely make my way to the switch. This is another switch where you have to play the Elegy of Emptiness, isn't it? Yep. Another switch where you play the Elegy of Emptiness to stop the fire from consuming the treasure chest, so you can go to the treasure chest and get yourself that small key. You know what? I've decided something. These videos, which are extra long, are more fun than a barrel of monkeys, but coming up with commentary for these videos is less fun than a barrel of monkeys. I don't like to hear myself talk for 45 minutes straight. I'm sorry. It's difficult. And we have an exit over there. Keep that in mind. We will be going through that exit, but not now. Now I'm going to the door on the opposite side of the room for a mini-boss battle against Dracula. I don't know, we're going to be fighting some sort of Dracula vampire creature. It's going to be fun. You guys won't want to miss it. And maybe you saw at the top of the room, we have Igor. He's back and he's angrier than ever. And he also shoots laser beams. So we're going to have to fight him too. It's very difficult. Ooh, and here's a room with the 2 blue bubbles. Just avoid them, they're not very important enemies. And here's the boss battle. And like I said, we are going to be fighting Lord Dracula. Count Dracula. Steve Dracula? I'm not sure what his first name is, but it looks like Dracula. And he has a scepter. And all sorts of bat buddies. So definitely use the light arrows to defeat this monster. Shoot a light arrow to make the bats go away, then hit him with your sword. I believe Tattle has a clever hint on how to defeat this enemy, which I'll show you eventually. But it's really not that difficult of a boss battle. By now I have so much extra life that I don't even need to worry about dodging his attacks. Oh, and this creature is called a Gomez. And Tattle's hints definitely shed light on the situation. That's your clue to use the light arrows. But of course you already knew that because I've been doing that for the entire boss battle. We have a pretty cool looking animation of Gomez being destroyed and all the bats catching on fire. And inside this room we have the boss key. Yeah, a treasure chest that big, and the only thing inside it is a tiny little key. Interesting. Okay, so now I'm going back to the previous room. If you get hit by one of these blue bubbles, you get jinxed. And if you try to attack using your sword, this is what happens. Alright guys, be prepared for some clever video editing. Ha! Bet you didn't even notice that. What I'm doing now is going across the room to get to that side room that I pointed out earlier. This is really no big deal, don't worry about it. Yeah, and you could see Igor again, shooting out lasers. He's stomping around and shooting out lasers and being very upset. And like I said, we'll fight him again, don't worry about it. For now, just worry about going over here, to this side room over there. It's very important that you go to this side room. You can't beat the dungeon without going to it. When here we have one of those enemies. Okay, so hit it with the light arrow. Then I'm gonna have to jump over to make it fall. Ooh, that didn't work so well. Okay, let's try this again. I'll hit it with a light arrow. And actually, it fell on top of me. I didn't have to jump over there, which is good. So now I can jump over there and step on the switch. Alternately, you could put on the stone mask and just run over and step on the switch. That works too. Either way, we have a treasure chest hanging from the ceiling now. And when the stone tower temple is right side up, you can easily just walk forward right over here to open that treasure chest in order to get the last stray fairy. Oh, that's not the last stray fairy? Oh, that's right, we also have one in this room which is full of water. Remember, we made this treasure chest appear? I said we'd get to it later, and now it's later, and it appeared, and we've gotten the treasure chest. Now I have all 15 stray fairies. So as you can see, I now have the Great Fairy Sword, the weapon which I will use against the boss. And the treasure chest on the ceiling makes a very good hookshot target to take you all the way to the upper level, where you can use your key to reach the area with Igor. As promised, he shoots out lasers. Other than that, he's the same as he was earlier. You need to hit him in the eye with light arrows. However, this only works if his eye is yellow. So get close to him to make him smash the ground, and then hit him in the eye with a light arrow. And what's growing beneath Link? It's a treasure chest containing the Giant's Mask. This is the mask you will need in order to defeat the boss of this temple. Yeah, this mask turns Link into a super huge giant. You know, as opposed to turning him into a very tiny giant, that wouldn't be very useful. However, we're going to have to find a really large place for Link to use that mask. And now I'm just going to try to dodge the spiky brooms of death. I guess they're more spiky logs of death than spiky brooms of death. There's really nothing broom-like about them. My mistake, I really shouldn't have called them brooms. This is what happens when you have a 45-minute video. Sometimes you don't have the best commentary to go along with the video. And here we are at the boss battle, which by amazing coincidence is in a really large place. A place large enough for Link to use the Giant's Mask. And here is the boss now. The boss is Volvagia. I mean, Twinmold. It basically works the exact same way as the Volvagia boss fight in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Except this time, Link is a giant! As far as I can tell, Twinmold is basically a giant flying worm, or an alien. I'm not sure. Put on the giant's mask. You see Link grow really, really big at a disturbing angle. Yeah, that was kind of disturbing. And what's even more disturbing is the fact that I cannot use the Great Fairy Sword in this battle. I was really looking forward to showing off the super powerful sword, and now I can't. Not fun. In any case, this is the sort of boss battle you see every now and then if you play video games a lot. It's the boss that dives into the ground and then jumps back out of the ground. You have to attack this enemy when it's diving into the ground, or when it's popping out of the ground. That is, you can attack this monster's head or tail. Which you can kind of see. I'm hitting his head and his tail during this battle. Those are the weak spots of this enemy. And believe it or not, it is possible to win this boss battle as normal-sized Link rather than Giant Link. Although I've never really tried to do that. It's much easier to win this battle as Giant Link. And as you can see, it's not exactly the easiest battle to win anyway. Most of the time, I seem to be hitting absolutely nothing. Yeah, most of my shots are missing. Oh well. Alright, there we go. Red Twinmold down, blue Twinmold to go. And just to prove that this is just like the Volvagia fight in the previous game, let me show you Volvagia's death sequence. I must say, the dragon makes that cool sound effect. Screeching sound effect. It's a cool sound effect. I like it. The two do look similar, do they not? You know, I kind of like how Giant Link has the same sound effects as Adult Link from the previous game. I don't know, I always thought that was pretty cool. Now, I have unlimited magic now, but if you don't have unlimited magic, you might need to refill on magic. The way you do this is by destroying those gray stone tower thingies you're seeing out here in the desert, then shrinking back to normal size Link, and picking up the magic potions on the ground. You can kind of see them, they're really, really, really tiny because Link is a giant, but trust me, they're there. And blue Twinmold is defeated. Alright. Now, we get one mask from defeating these two enemies, and I'm not sure how that works out. You'd think we would have two masks rather than one. Once the boss is defeated, go to the center platform and pick up the final heart container. Alright, it looks like we have 12 pieces of heart to go. I'll try to get some of them in the next video. And I have just seized Twinmold's remains. Now we get to go to the magical land of ice cream and bubbles. Remember this? The land where we have those giant orange giants? We've saved all 4 of the orange giants by defeating all 4 of the bosses. Now they're going to help us save the world. They want us to call them by playing their song on top of the clock tower at midnight on the final day. Oh, but the giant sounds sad. I wonder why that's the case. Forgive your Fries! Forgive your fries. Your French fries. No, wait. Forgive your friend. Ooh. We have some plot development. The giants want us to forgive our friend? Who could our friend be? Yeah, who is Tattle's friend? Could they be talking about the Skull Kid? We can't forgive him, he's evil! Right? What's this? This is some strange blob thingy. It's a strange blob thingy, and a good excuse to show off some special effects. The sky changes color. Well, you can't really see the sky change color because it's nighttime right now, but if this was happening during the daytime, it would be totally obvious that Link and Tattle have just saved Ikana Canyon. Way to go, Link and Tattle.